Get Ready With Me using the Natasha Denona Retro palette again. I wanted to show you guys another look with this palette because it is my newest palette, and I want to give you guys some ideas if you guys were thinking about, you know, picking this up anytime soon. I know the sale is almost over, and most of my videos aren't going to go up until after the sale. I've just been filming a lot of videos, and then I've been trying to keep up with editing them, but I'm not doing a very good job keeping up, and I still haven't even filmed my haul video yet from the sale because I wasn't sure if there's anything else that I wanted to pick up, and I was supposed to film the haul last night, but then I ended up going out with one of my friends for dinner. Then I ended up not going home until like 8:30, and then like me and my mom and my brother had like a bunch of stuff to watch on Friday night. Because Fridays are always when everything comes out now. So let's jump into the palette and then we'll chit chat. So I wanted to do a much more like neutral look this time because I want to show you guys the versatility of this palette, because it's really, honestly, when you look at it, it's really is a very neutral toned palette. Like there's a lot of warm tone neutrals in here, especially in the second half of the palette, and especially like on this side. Like honestly, I'm just gonna probably stick with most of these shades on this side. I actually didn't realize that this one's like a little pinky too, but we're just gonna go ahead and get started. I think I want to go a little bit darker for the crease, but I think I'm going to go in with this shade Vivian first. Is that Vivian? Yeah. And then I think I'm going to do Go-Go in the defining area, and then I'm going to do Amara on the outer corner. So let's do that. I think that'll be pretty. So I'm going to start out with the shade Vivian. But yeah, basically this palette is very neutral toned, but I thought it was like a very unique, like neutral color story. And that's why I decided initially to pick this one up over the bronze palette and the, wow, that's like barely showing up. Okay, let's pick up quite a bit so we can get that to show up a bit more. That's almost like a transition shade rather than just like a crease shade, because I thought that would be dark enough to use as a crease shade. But I think I'm going to have to layer over Go-Go because I don't think this is going to be dark enough. So if this is light enough, if this is light even on me, I can't imagine that this would show up on anybody lighter than me. I mean, not lighter than me. Darker than me. Wow, Caitlin. Good job. Yeah, I really don't understand. I mean, of course, I get why brands put like lighter shades in palettes, but it's like, and I know not with eyeshadow palettes, they can't cater to everyone sometimes, but the fact that they put these shades in here, I honestly think that this shade is kind of a waste. They could have put like a lighter pinkier tone in here rather than this like really light neutral brown, because at this point, who doesn't have a shade like this in their collection? And beginners, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like beginners don't really buy Natasha Denona because she's too expensive for beginners. But people will buy the Urban Decay Naked palettes for beginners because that's like a well-known line for beginners. So, and yes, those palettes aren't the cheapest either. But when you think about it, Natasha Denona is a little bit more expensive. So to put a shade like this in here, I do think it's kind of a waste of space, so I think I'm just going to use it as a transition, and then we'll put something darker over it. But I really am surprised on how light it is. I really thought it was going to have a little bit more pigmentation, because that's usually how her eyeshadows are, but this is like hella light. So I'm just going to keep on building it. Yeah, it's really not dark enough for me, so we're going to go in with another shade. That's like not really doing much of anything. It added a little bit of depth, but for me, I need pigment. So I'm going to go into that shade Go-Go and put that in my crease. And that's going to show up a lot better. So we're just going to go ahead and put that over this shade. Yeah, that definitely helped. I think that this one is one of her matte shades. I think that first shade, actually I think this one is a cream to powder as well. I thought that this was a matte, but this one is also a cream to powder, so it's laying really nicely over that shade. Yeah, that is very pretty. I like that. So I'm just going to keep on applying that. So last night, not only did the baking show come out, which we watch every Friday on Netflix, but also Shang-Chi came out on Disney Plus for free. So we watched that too. I already had seen it in theaters, but my mom hasn't seen it yet. And my mom is not going to go to the movie theaters anymore. She doesn't want to be caught dead in a movie theater. And I don't blame her, because the movies have gotten pretty expensive ever since they've been closed due to COVID. I've only went like a couple of times this year. I went to see Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and then Eternals. So I've only really been going to see Marvel movies, because other than a Marvel movie, there's really no point of going to the movie theaters. I don't think I'm probably going to go again until Spider-Man comes out, or Kingsman. I think me and Becca are going to see Kingsman together. So, and we're probably going to see Star Wars. I mean, not Star Wars. Star Wars. Spider-Man together. But yeah, that looks really pretty. Definitely added way more than that first shade did. Okay. Let me drop my brush everywhere. Okay, so we're changing up the game plan a little bit. So then I probably should have went in with Nude Mauve, but it's okay. I'm going to go into the shade Amara for the defining shade. And I think this one is actually one of her true matte colors and not one of the cream to powder. But these two like blend so nicely together. And I really like that about her cream to powder formula, that the matte just layers so beautifully on top. I don't know if I've ever tried her cream to powder formula, because the other two palettes that I have from her, I don't think any of those have cream to powder shadows. Oh, this shade is really, really pretty. That really deepened it up really nice. Okay, this one does have a bit of purpliness to it. I thought it was going to be like a really red shade, but it's a very dark, like brick red purple color almost. It's really pretty. So yeah, we watched that, and then we watched the baking show afterwards, and then tonight we have another episode of this Apple TV show called Foundation, so we're probably gonna watch that later. But then also Disney Cruise. Jungle Cruise came out on Disney Plus for free as well last night. So we probably won't watch that till tomorrow night, because I am working late tonight till like 9. So we might not watch a movie tonight, but we'll probably watch Foundation and that's it, which is totally fine with me. Because I've already seen Jungle Cruise, so it's not like a big deal if we don't watch it till tomorrow. And then also it's so funny because like 2 movies came out with The Rock at like mostly the same. I mean, Jungle Cruise had already come out, but they had a lot of controversy about like releasing it on Disney Plus, because they pretty much did the same thing to Emily Blunt as they did to Scarlett Johansson with Black Widow. They like pulled it off of Disney Plus for a while, and now it's available for free. So they probably are offering it for free because they, really screwed over Scarlett and Emily Blunt for their contracts. So yeah. And then for the outer corner shade, I think I'm going to use this deep red called Rebellion. And again, this one is one of her cream to powder colors. And I'm going to put that on the outer corners. Hopefully that deepens it up enough. Yeah, ooh, that's pretty. I am such a sucker for like deep red mattes these days. I freaking love how they look. So I'll probably watch that too at some point. So yeah, I'm getting ready for work. I ended up picking up a shift from my friend because I got her the job there. So she asked me last night if I could work supervisor shifts, and I actually can. I'm just not going to be scheduled for them, but I can cover someone that needs coverage. And that's what I was supposed to do when I got the supervisor position again this past summer. I wasn't going to work as regular supervisor hours and everything, but then we ended up being really short staffed because a couple people left, and then she needed me to work more during the summer, which I'm like, you know what, it's fine, it's money. And I was still also able to collect the unemployment while still working 4 days a week because they had changed the restrictions for unemployment. So it was good. It wasn't really bad at all. And I really love my boss now as opposed to the last boss that I had. So yeah, she's great. Okay. So then for the, I'm really liking how this looks. For the brow bone, I'm going to go into the same shade that I went into for the first look that I did with this palette. The first look I did with the palette, it was, a neutral, blushy tone look because I wanted to do, obviously, a blushy tone look with the palette first. So for the brow bone, I'm going to use this shade here called Mod. And then for the lid, I'm torn between Patty and Helio, but I think I'm possibly going to put Helio on the inner corners. So I think I'm going to use that shade Patty right here. I think it's going to be really pretty. So let's just do it. I'm going to eventually use all the shades anyway. So, God, I freaking love this brow bone highlight. It is so pigmented. Let's blend that out just a little bit. But I barely tap my brush. I feel like this shade has more pigmentation to it than that first transition shade that we used. Interesting. This one has quite a lot of kickback though, so just keep that in mind. But most of her shades are pretty buttery smooth. Alright, I'm just going to apply some glitter glue and then we'll do the lid. Okay, so now I'm just going to go right into the lid shade since I told you guys already which shade I'm using. So I'm going to go in with the shade Patty and put that on my lid. That's really nice. Her shimmers are so good at gripping to your lid. And I feel like that's really important for certain shimmers to be pigmented, or for a brand to have good shimmers, is that they really do stick to the lid so nicely. So you don't have to spend a million years trying to build up the pigment. That's why her shimmers are so good, because it just it's there. It doesn't take much effort to get them on. And basically everybody I know loves Natasha Denona's formula, so I haven't really seen many people not like Natasha Denona's eyeshadow formula, so she knows what she's doing when it comes to eyeshadows. I just don't know why they're so expensive. But that's why I just get the 65. Oh my god, can I speak today? That's why I just get the $65 eyeshadow palettes, because there's no way in hell I'm spending $130. No freaking way. I won't spend that on Pat McGrath either. I'm like, no. That's why I'm glad I have the holiday palette from Pat McGrath from last year. Excuse me. And again, I haven't picked up a Natasha Denona palette in almost 2 years at this point, so I didn't pick up any last year, and this is the first one I picked up this year, so I think the last time was summer 2019. Okay, so I'm just going to prime my face, and then we'll do the rest of my face. Okay, so I went ahead and just primed my face really quick with my usual MAC Prep and Prime Cucumber Fix My MAC Prep and Prime my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus Cucumber Spray. And my Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which you can get both of those products at Sephora. And then for my foundation, I'm going to use the Tower 28 again. I really liked this the first time I used it. And again, I feel like it's more so like almost a light coverage foundation rather than a tinted moisturizer. Because it says it's a tinted moisturizer, but I really feel like it performs like a light coverage foundation. I think that's enough. Hopefully. And it blends out really easily. It just, look how it covers the skin. It's so beautiful. Beautifully, I mean. Oh my god, can't speak today. So do you guys recommend any shows that I should start watching? Ever since I finished Lock and Key, there's not really any shows out there I really want to watch right now. And everything comes out next year that I've been waiting for on Netflix. Like Ozark and Bridgerton and... what's the other show? There's one other one. Stranger Things. So I'm kind of struggling as to what to watch right now. I've been watching a crap ton of movies because I've either been rewatching Marvel movies, going to see a Marvel movie, or watching other movies with my mom. But sometimes I don't want to watch a movie almost every night. Not that there's any problem with that, but sometimes I want to, you know, get into a new show. So if there's any shows on Netflix that you guys recommend, please let me know, or any other show I should watch. I can always find a way to watch it. Oh, I love this. It's so nice on the skin. So, so pretty. Okay, I just want to put everything away as I go, because I'm going to try and film my haul video before work. And then for the concealer, I'm going to go in with the same concealer that I used in my first impressions video yesterday, and I'm going to use the Lancome Taint Idol Concealer. I loved this yesterday, so I really want to use it again. And I think it's such a nice concealer to go with this Tower 28. Because I feel like they have similar consistencies. So I'm just going to go ahead and buff that out. I cannot believe, again, how easily this blends into the skin. I'm like, let me buff it out. And then it's like, it's buffed out already. Like, right after I said that. Like, insane how fast it blends into the skin. I can tell that this is going to become one of my new favorite concealers already. My skin's feeling a little bit sticky with the combo of this tinted moisturizer with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, but again, that's just because I think the, you know, tinted moisturizers usually have like a tackiness to them or like a sticky consistency to like grip to the skin. I think that's the only reason why my skin might feel just a little bit tighter because of the, and also because of the primer that I used. So, and then I'm just going to do my under eyes. Of course, like I'm already running. I mean, I have like 20 minutes, but I always run like so low on time. I want to put a little bit more underneath my eyes this time, just so I don't have to build up the coverage. The only thing I don't like about this is that this applicator kind of gets stuck in the stopper. So I feel like if you don't take it out, like, carefully, it's gonna get the concealer, like, splattered. Like, when you pull it out of the stopper, it, like, kind of splatters the concealer a little bit. That's a little bit annoying. Because, like, the inside opening is not big enough for the stopper to fit through when you pull it out. So it's like a little bit annoying because I don't want to end up with concealer all over my pants. So let's keep that in mind. Okay. Again, that blended out so easily. I don't think I'm going to put on any more this time. I think that's enough coverage. And then I'm just going to set my face and then we'll do the rest of the eyes. So let's do the lower lash line. And I'm going to take, I think, just that shade. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to, because I forgot that these cream to powder shades aren't really the greatest on the lower lash line. Maybe I'll just take the shade Amara, but just keep that in mind if you want to use like some of these shades, you know, like you use in the crease area. They're not really going to be the best on the lower lash line because they just don't really show up that well. So I think I'm just going to use one of the more matte shades instead of the cream to powder. So I'm just going to take that shade Amara. I think I'm going to do the inner corners first, though. I think I am going to take that shade Helio right here and see how that performs. Oh, that one is pretty creamy, too. Just be careful sticking your brush into that. I kind of, like, dented it a little bit. It's actually really pretty. I was afraid it was going to be too dark, but that's actually really pretty. Just go light-handed because it is pretty pigmented. Oh my god, I have eye goo again already. Okay, that took like 2 seconds actually to get it out, so that was nice. I don't know why it's not building up as well on this side, but that always seems to be the struggle, but I think it looks pretty good. Just need a little bit more over here. Yeah, that's pretty. I don't think I need any more because I feel like it's going to be too pigmented then. And like I said, for the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with Amara, which is like a really pretty rusty brown orangey color. I'm going to take that. And put that underneath. I'm trying to get a load of laundry done too before I go to work. I did put it in the wash. I just want to try and put it in the dryer before I leave. I'm probably going to do that after I'm done filming this video. It's not like I don't have time to film this video. I just don't know how much of the haul video I'm going to get done before I go to work. Wow, that shade really applied nicely underneath the eyes. I like that a lot. And honestly, that shade did not really transfer that much whatsoever on the top. So I think I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm just going to prime my lashes and add eyeliner really quick. Okay, and then for the mascara, I'm going to go into the Patrick Ta mascara again. I really liked this the first time I used it, so we're going to use it again. It's a really nice packaging and everything. I just think Patrick Ta makes really good solid products. And I really liked this yesterday. Again, it has a bit of a drier formula, so I feel like it's not going to be for everyone. But I find that drier formulas are easier to build up because you don't have to worry about like the super wetness. I feel like it applied a little bit better yesterday, but today it still looks pretty good too. And then most people like warm up mascaras before they use them, but I don't really do that. I don't know. I always forget. I'm trying to wash my masks before I go to work because I only really like wearing this one specific mask. It's like one of the Apple masks and it's like super comfortable. I don't really like wearing like the blue ones because they like break me out a lot. So let me just do my lower lash line mascara and then I'll do the rest of my face. Okay, and then for bronzer, I'm going to go in with my Gucci bronzer because we're feeling bad and bougie today. Oh, Amazon's here. I'm just going to apply that. I have no idea what they're delivering. Oh, I love this bronzer. Every time I use this bronzer again, I'm like, I love it. It just builds up beautifully. I picked up the Gucci bronzer and the Dior bronzer this year, and I have no regrets. They're both gorgeous. But this one is like, oh, and it smells so good. But it's so beautiful on the skin. Not saying you have to spend this much to get a good bronzer, but it is worth it. I think it's worth it in my opinion, especially if you have the Sephora card and you have points to use, like credit card rewards. Get this bronzer, because then it ends up being like $20 off at least, or more. It's a good bronzer. I think it's totally worth it. Okay, so for blush, we do have a new blush to use today. So I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Blush Color Infusion in the shade Bellini. And I got this because of Morgan Turner. She always raves about these blushes. The plastic insert just went flying. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Crap. Crap, crap. Alright, whatever, it's fine. Sorry. So this is the color Bellini. It doesn't have a scent to it. For some reason I thought that there was a scent, if we could speak English. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. Oh my god, my water is a nightmare right now. And I'm just going to use that. She always raves about these blushes, especially during the Sephora sale. So I was really curious about trying one of these. I wanted to try one of these when the spring sale was going on, but I had picked up way too many blushes then. Oh, that builds up beautifully, and it looks so pretty on the skin. I haven't picked up a Laura Mercier product in God knows how long, but I was intrigued on trying one of these. You guys know, of course, I had to pick up like the neutral toned peachy color, because what other colors do I like wearing more often? There is absolutely no kickback to this, which is nice. That is a really nice color too. Yeah, and this goes beautifully with this look. Oh, this blush is beautiful. Nice and buildable formula too, and it's super, super soft on the skin. Like a super buttery, smooth formula. That's nice. I like this a lot. That's very pretty. Okay, and then for the highlights, I'm gonna use the, where is it? Is it even in here? Oh, it's right here. I'm gonna use the Ilia highlighter because I've only used it once so far in my, I think my ColourPop Get Ready With Me. With like the new mascara and the Wine and Only palette. So I haven't used it since then. So I'm going to use this one today. Actually, no, I used this in another video. I can't remember. But anyway, we're going to use it today. I'm just going to, this one's in the shade Decades. And this is really, really pretty. I'm just going to go ahead and apply that. Oof. I actually like this more than the Pat McGrath one that I got because I think that the Pat McGrath is just too dark for me. I'm probably going to go exchange it for the lighter one, or I might just straight up return it altogether after I haul it because I'm not really that crazy about it. Or I might just return it for a new one because it smells really, really bad. And if I'm going to spend that much money on a blush palette, then I want it to be good. But if they all smell like that, I'll just be like, okay, then I'm just going to return it. Okay. So that's beautiful. And then we're just going to do the lips. Okay, and then for my lips, I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Lippy pencil in the shade Ashton. I'm just going to use that. Oh my God. That looks pretty good. And then for the Lippy, we're going to go in with a super bougie Lippy. We're going to use the Gucci Lip Color Matte Lippy in the shade 104 Penny Beige. So I ended up picking this up at the Roosevelt Field Sephora because they actually do have Gucci in their store. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this lipstick. I think it looks pretty with this. It's super creamy. And honestly, the scent of it doesn't really linger as much as I thought it would. Because the first one that I got, it was so overly fragranced that I was like, I don't like this. But this one isn't really like that. Because the original shade that I got, I didn't love, so I returned it and obviously got a nude shade. All right, and that's pretty much it. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. Here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. I think I do like how this lippy looks with this. I think it looks pretty. It's definitely different. I probably would do like something more of a cooler tone look the next time I wear it, but I think it's pretty. I'm having mixed thoughts, but I think it looks pretty. So yeah, love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I wanted to get like, you know, something that was more like a regular like warm tone nude. But like the Gucci line doesn't really have like a lighter shade like that, and I think I wasn't able to swatch the other one in store because they were so freaking busy. They didn't even have testers out for these first 3 shades that I wanted to try in store. So yeah, I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CPW819 and check my Poshmark at the same handle. Bye.